in some final work before you get that third preseason game. Kind of, you guys want to get that win, but it's all about the work and the process of what you do during preseason. So how are you guys getting ready for that?
Yeah, I mean, I think just having a great practice today. I mean, I think that first of all, we've had some amazing practices. I think how tuned in we are, everything else. We got to play better under the lights. That part will come. But I'm excited just to hit the field today and get after it.
Russ, what's the kind of mood as roster cuts are kind of looming?
That's always the case every year. I think the mood's high right now in terms of a good mood and guys ready to work their tails off. We got a lot of us have really one more shot to really prove where we are and who we are. And I think about the young guys. I remember once again I was a young guy once before, and just those games, those practices. But I think more than anything else, the opportunity is always great. And it's all about perspective, how you look at it. Every time we step on the field, it's an opportunity to just, to show who you are and the player you are.
Do you know if you're playing and how much you plan to play?
Yeah, we're playing. Yeah, we're all playing. I'm excited to get back on the field. Last week was great to be out there for the first time. Putting the pads on and everything else, and obviously we didn't get the win and everything else, but I think the big thing for us is just executing and us making our plays and doing our thing.
What about a number of series that you want to play? I mean, I know that that's obviously up to the coaching staff, but for you to feel comfortable going into week one, I mean, what things do you need to accomplish in this third?
Yeah, I think the most important thing for us to accomplish is just play efficient football, move the ball up and down the field. Obviously, we want to celebrate in the end zone. That would be fun. We need to make sure that happens, and that's the standard of football we want to be able to play in.
Talk about efficient football. What have the conversations kind of been like among the offense this week, knowing some of the struggles and the problem areas you guys have dealt with?
Yeah, I don't know. I think, first of all, it's preseason, and I think that there's always highs. There's some things that we've done really well. There's some things that we need to be better at. That's the part of playing. It's part of the fun about the preseason. You learn things, and you translate that to the practice field as well. Like I mentioned to you guys, I think somebody asked me, would we be concerned if are you concerned right now or anything else? And absolutely not. Absolutely not, because the reason being, as I told you guys, is because the level of practices we've had against one of the best defenses every day, and how we've shown up there. So I think the best thing that we can do is just slow our minds down, play really clean football, and also to enjoy the process, man. This is sometimes you're going to be in a game. There's going to be a time in this season where it's going to be the first quarter and we didn't score. And are we going to panic and worry? Absolutely not. We're going to win the game in the fourth quarter, and that's just what it's going to be. And that's the mentality you got to have.
Russell, what have you seen here in practice that you think is going to eventually translate?
I think the explosive plays. I think also too just how well the line's done. Throughout the whole preseason. Really excited about it. Obviously, we know how great Broderick Jones is. Everybody was talking about Broderick's a great football player. He's one of the reasons why I came here. Because of how talented he is. We got a lot of talent on this football team. I think about the running backs we have. I think about they haven't. We haven't done good enough, as a collective effort to make sure that they hit their big runs. We've had a couple of them, but I think we can have even more. We've shown that in preseason, and ultimately, obviously, the ultimate standard is for us to win and get in the end zone. So we need to do that, and it all starts with us, and just continue to get better.
Russ, you guys threw underneath the sticks pretty consistently on third down. Was just working on reads. Just seeing what Freiermuth or Warren could do.
I think it's pretty simple. We had guys running past the sticks and all that. Just the problem is when they know that's happening and it's 3rd and 15. It's pretty easy on the defense. They cover. They just kind of sit there and everything else. You got to check it down. And we almost got a couple first. Pat almost got the first one there, or the second one or whatever. But
I think Warren almost got his.
Yeah, he almost got his too. But I'm looking to drive the ball in there, but sometimes you don't want to force. We're not forcing turnover, especially when it's early in the game. If it's fourth quarter and it's the last play of the game, then yeah, you may have to thread the needle. But early in the game, it's about field position. It's about moving the sticks and trying to find a way to get a first down. We got talented guys. You got to trust the guys you have around you. We got a guy like Jalen Warren, who's one of the top missed tackle guys. You give him the football. He makes plays. So you just trust your reads, trust your timing, and do that.
What do you feel like you learned about Arthur Smith, having a game with him in your ear, on the sideline, that kind of thing?
Yeah, it was cool to be in the game the other day. Just his communication. I think Coach Arthur Smith, just did a really good job of communicating. I think he's really poised in the games. I think also how he teaches from the practice field, obviously the game field, all that matters and everything else. So I'm really enjoying it and ready to get after it this week.
When you were coming into this, Russell, back then, Matt Flynn, they signed him with big money back in Seattle back in the day. When did you know that you were going to be the guy in Seattle in terms of starting, and when did Pete Carroll kind of give you that blessing?
When Pete called me when I got drafted, he said, go ahead and go for this thing. I said, Coach, I don't know any other way. And that was, April 27th back then in 2012. And so I think, for me, I've always had that mentality. I think, when I got to Seattle, it was that week, May 11th, I got there. And I think a big part of it was just stepping in the building knowing that I got to do everything I can to put myself in the best position to win and play when I was a young rookie. And, that's the mentality you got to have. I always say age is only necessary for those who are unqualified, and I think that's really, a real thing, that experience you have. I'd been fortunate to play a lot of college football, start every game and everything else. And so that allowed me to feel really confident going in the West Coast style of offense and all that. So I think a big part of it when I found out that I knew, but when I think I really found out that I was really ready to do it was my rookie year when we beat New England Patriots at home. We came back from behind. That was a big game. Then we played Chicago in Chicago. We had 99 yards to go. We went up and down the field with less than 2 minutes to go, or whatever it was. Won the game. Went to overtime. Won the game. And those are the two big games for me when I remember, like, okay, we got a chance.
Does some of that resonate here, being in Pittsburgh, a new team, last preseason game?
I think for me, his rookie year was a little different. I think in somewhat resonates, but I think more than anything else, you understand that you every day in terms of practice, taking it to the game, that's the most important thing, and what we do in between the white lines really matters. So it all resonates, it all relates. It gives you the experience of that, and I think most importantly, I just remember my first few preseason games, and there's some things that went great, and some things that as a team that we didn't do great, and you just learn.
The rhythm you had with your receivers out here and at St. Vincent, do you need to see that in the game before the regular season starts?
Yeah, I think that'll be great, continue to have that. I mean, I think, once again, guys, I think very simply, when we're third and longs, it's hard to have a great rhythm. We got to be third and medium, give ourselves a chance. That's just, statistics show that it's hard to make 3rd and 14s. I mean, we can do it, but I'm just saying, like, we got to play cleaner football in that way. That'll give us a better chance to find that rhythm, make those plays. And we have guys that are working their tails off every day. So I'm excited about this week. We're focused on this week, not last. We're focused on today's practice, not yesterday's. And I think that's the best thing we can do.
Guys, a few more here. Few more.
Russ,
This is more of a big picture question, but you posted on social media about legacy. I'm curious at this stage in your career, how much you think about that and how much you think about what you'll leave behind.
Yeah, I think, more than anything else, I think it's every day you wake up, you just, I thank God every day for the opportunity to play this game. And it's the greatest gift to play this game and to play quarterback and everything else. And to play quarterback with Pittsburgh Steelers is a true honor. And so I think more importantly is, how do we establish that, and how do we continue to elevate the game? I think for me, coming in as a rookie, I was a young, African American kid from Richmond, Virginia, that everybody told me I was too short and couldn't do it. And I think now, seeing the success and everything that's happened over the years, and then being where I'm at today, I think a lot of people doubt, and it's nothing that I'm not used to. I've heard it for a long time, and so for the best part is that you just focus on, trying to, elevate the game every time you step on the field. And I'm always a believer that there's 4 quarters to a game. That's why there's 4 of them, and you play the game how it's supposed to be played throughout the whole entire game. And in terms of legacy, I think, the reason why I came here is I want to win another Super Bowl or 2, and that's what we got to do. That's our plan. That's our strategy. That's our mission every day, and I think that's what really matters.
Russ, you mentioned the doubt that you heard when you were coming out in the draft and growing up. How much do you need to hear that doubt now externally to motivate you and keep you going at this stage?
I never had it to keep me going. I've never been, I've just never been worried about what other people think. I think ultimately I focus on, as I mentioned, you guys, obviously my faith means everything to me. God chose me for this, and He chose me to play this game. I'm one of 32 men in the world that get to do what I do. And, you get to, play this game every day. And, there's 8 billion people in the world, and for whatever reason, I get to be one of these guys. Fortunate guys get to do this and walk into these white lines. And so, man, I always got to have great faith and just great belief. And so that's just kind of in my spirit of me every day. And so for me, I don't really focus on the outside part of it. I just focus on what God put in the inside, and in terms of who He chose me to be, and just focus on that part of it, and then work your butt off every day. This is the part where you just work on the fundamentals, you work on your craft, you're obsessed with it, you're obsessed with learning, that part of it, and that's the part that makes it great.
Last one here, if anyone.
Arthur said yesterday he commended you for staying in the game on Saturday. You wanted to get more reps. I guess what was that conversation like between you guys to kind of get a few more reps?
Yeah, I mean, I think the plan was to play two or three series, maybe this and that, but the first series went a little quick, so we wanted to say, hey, let's get some more plays in. We knew we weren't going to win the game in the first quarter or anything like that, but it's just, hey, let's see if we can get some more plays in. I'd been out, because of my calf injury and everything else, unfortunately. So, it was the first time that I got to put the shoulder pads on and go out there and go out on the field. And so I wanted to be out there as much as I could with our guys and just compete at the highest level.
All right.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.